So Christmas is over, and I previously talked about the empty chair at the Christmas table. And maybe the emptiness is still there for many of you. You know, grief doesn't go away overnight. It's typically a process. But one of the things I want to talk about today is that sometimes in that loss, sometimes in that grief, there is anger. And when we get angry, especially at God, sometimes it's really this conflicting thing that we have to deal with because we know that we're not supposed to be angry with God. But what I would tell you is that God understands us. He made us. He knows how we're going to be. And it's interesting because I was just reading recently in the Old Testament, and I was reading about David moving the Ark of the Covenant. So he was going to move the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem. He felt that it needed to be honored more, and so he was going to move it. And they loaded the Ark of the Covenant onto a cart, and they were moving it. And as they were moving it, Uzzah, who was one of his faithful people, was guiding this cart that was being pulled by these oxen. One of the oxen stumbled, and Uzzah reached out to stabilize the ark. And as he did that, he died. When you first read that, it seems so cruel. It seems so awful. But here's the thing. God said that the Ark of the Covenant was only supposed to be carried. It was never supposed to be put on a cart. And it was supposed to be honored, and no one was supposed to touch the Ark. Had God not followed through, it would be like when we're with our children and we tell them not to do something and there's never any circumstances for when things don't get done right or are done wrong. But that's not what I want to focus on today. What I want to focus on is what happens in 2 Samuel verse 6. And it starts in verse 8. And it says, "Then David was angry because the Lord's wrath had broken out against Uzzah." Even David, a mighty man of God, was angry with him about his circumstances. David didn't stay angry. He went on to reconcile that anger with God, and he understood why God did the things that he did. But the thing that's important to know is that while there's still that emptiness in your home, sometimes we still get angry. Sometimes we still get frustrated. Sometimes we say, "Why, God? Why, God? Why did you have to do this? Why did you have to leave me here by myself? Why did you have to take that family member from me?" Some of those questions we're never going to be able to understand on this side of heaven. And some days we're going to be angry about it. God knows we're going to get angry, but please don't stay in that anger. Please know that God's ways are higher than our ways, and his purpose is greater than our purpose. And while we don't understand it, understand that he has a greater plan in all of our hurt and pain. Today, if you're struggling with anger because of the loss in your life, look to God. He will resolve that anger. He will resolve that hurt. And he will fill that emptiness in your life in a way that only God is able to do.